Good evening to you all, and many thanks for joining us here on Rwanda Television News. We hope you had yourselves a very productive day. Now, top of our edition, these are our headlines. The Minister of Finance and Economic Planning, Dr. Uzziel Ndagijimana, highlighted the role of government reforms in the economic sector as a key factor that positions Rwanda as a country fostering both domestic and foreign investment. Rwanda and Belgium on January 13th signed a cooperation agreement worth 131 billion Rwandan francs to be injected into priority sectors of the country's development. We are very glad to have your company tonight, coming to you straight from the heart of Africa, Kigali. I bring to you the news is Martina Avera. Now, let us kick things off by letting you know that the Minister of Finance and Economic Planning, Dr. Uzziel Ndagijimana, highlighted the role of the government reforms in the economic sector as a key factor that positions Rwanda as a country fostering both domestic and foreign investment. He reiterated this in an opening ceremony of UK-Rwanda Business Forum that kicked off earlier today. Adam Squizera has more.
Ray Power, a British investor, stands among the pioneers who recognized the benefits of investment opportunities in Rwanda. Whereas in 2015, he initiated the operations of Power Resources International, a British pest critical metals producing specializing in high-purity oxides and refined metals essential from the transition away from fossil fuels. He noted that the government's strategy to facilitate investors and the comprehensive understanding of the local labor were instrumental factors that aided in the establishment and farming of his investment.
One of the things that we found remarkable here is the availability of skilled labor. When we made our business plan, we were doing our finance several years ago, we had fully intended to bring a team of around 30 people from Europe. To this day, we stand here with only 8 expats. Everyone has been hired locally. We're with over 200 people. We have excellent labor. So you have all the ingredients for Rwanda. You have all the ingredients for Rwanda's own politics on the continent. Rwanda has a good reputation here. It has a dynamic reputation, and it's earned it. The testimony is outside on what they've built in 30 years.
The challenges of numerous complaints about the poor quality and quantity of goods exported by African exporters are often cited by investors on the continent as a hindrance to business flow with certain European nations. However, for Boone Forstey, noted due to the cooperation and relationship between the government of Rwanda and the UK, this is no longer an obstacle.
You can imagine when you export goods and an importer brings all sorts of complaints about quality, mold, temperature levels, and you don't have a representative there on the other end. It's really challenging. So those are the challenges we went through maybe about 5 years ago to about 3 years ago. But the interesting thing is that we never experienced that trading with the UK. And for that matter, our business with UK has grown more than in the other countries in Europe.
John Humphrey, the UK Trade Commissioner for Africa, identifies Rwanda as a country that will serve as a gateway for the UK to access the African market. This is due to the measures and strategies implemented by the Rwandan government to facilitate investment.
That really sort of points to also the possibility here in Rwanda of being a gateway for the UK into Africa, but also a gateway for Africa into the UK, and a great place to locate your business headquarters. As many of you know, the UK is a leading investor in the African continent. The last UNCTAD World Investment Report said that the UK stock of investment in Africa now is about 65 billion, and is actually the largest investment stock of any of the nations investing in Africa. And many African businesses look to the City of London for their source of finance. We're in the same time zone. It's a major global capital marketplace, and City UK are here as well, representing the City of London, and I encourage you to connect with them as well.
Dr. Uzziel Ndagijimana, the Minister of Finance and Economic Planning, noted that these measures to facilitate investment and business are integral to the reforms implemented by the Rwandan government to enhance the economy and attract more foreign and domestic investment.
Rwanda has made remarkable reforms in the macroeconomic management, in governance and business environment, making Rwanda one of the easiest places to do business globally. And these reforms have paid off in terms of rapid increase of private investments, both domestic and foreign direct investments.
The figures from Rwanda Development Board (RDB) indicate that between 2018 and 2022, investments totaling $870 million were recorded in Rwanda, with a significant portion originating from the European countries, including the UK. Adam Squizera, RTV News.
In a strategic move to bolster economic ties and attract foreign investments, Rwandair made a groundbreaking promotion that elevated Rwanda's investment potential in the United Kingdom. This initiative is poised to not only strengthen bilateral relations, but also position Rwanda as an attractive destination for UK investors seeking opportunities in Africa's emerging markets. This was reiterated in an interview with our colleague Adam Squizera that he had with Chief Commercial Officer at Rwandair, Andrew Best Owi.
That's a very good question. For us, it's not about benefit that comes to Rwanda. It's actually benefit that comes to the people, the travelers, Rwandans, and all nationals alike. So it's not really about us. We are here to serve. So what we do, today we operate six flights weekly to the UK. And the purpose of increasing that was to give more options, more travel options to our passengers. Before that, we realized that when people go, when we had 3 weekly flights, when people travel, they cannot, if you want to come the next day, it's a challenge. So when you travel, you have to wait like 2 or 3 days again before you come back. And so we wanted to improve that experience for our passengers. We wanted to ensure that the connectivity is there always. In fact, our goal is to make Kigali, London, like a shuttle, you know, like where you have taxi going back and forth. So our plan eventually is to have a daily operation. So we're going to have in the coming days, we're going to make that big announcement where you have daily operation from Kigali to London. So we're going to have that daily, so you can go anytime. You can just wake up, you know, and say, I want to be in the UK, and we are there to pick you. We don't want any day where, you know, people cannot, where people are unable to connect to the UK. So it's about providing better travel options, improve travel options for our passengers at any time. We want passengers to be able to wake up and say, okay, I want to go to the UK, and then they can come back. The same way we have Kigali, Nairobi, the same way we have Kigali, Entebbe. We want to have the same thing with the UK. So today it is 6 weekly. Yeah. But trust me, in the coming days, we're going to expand to daily, and it's even going to be more than just daily. We might have more than just 7 times a week. It's going to increase. You know, we're going to double that. You know, in the coming days ahead. So that's our plan. That's our long-term vision. So which we are looking at, and we're going to implement it very soon. It gives that transit option, so people come and then they go. So you're bringing people from different parts of the world into Kigali, and then you disperse them also to other parts of the world. So that becomes a hub. So we don't just want to, Kigali is a hub. We will reinforce that. We will ensure that Kigali continues to remain a hub, bigger hub. That's our goal. That's what we are looking at. That's what we are pursuing right now. We're deepening that, ensuring that, yes, it remains a hub. But beyond just being a hub, we also want to ensure that Kigali as a destination, so people can come in and not just in a hurry to come to Kigali and then connect to the next flight out of Kigali airport. We are also ensuring that people come into Kigali and then they are able to come in out of the airport into Kigali to experience Rwanda. So we have a product in Rwanda that enables people to come into Rwanda, right? They can come in, they can see what Rwanda has to offer. They can go into the hinterlands, they can visit different businesses in Rwanda, and then they are also able to, before the next flight. So, for example, if somebody is going from West Africa, they're going to London, for example, right? You are able to spend we give you that option to spend 2-3 days, or any number of days you wish. You spend it here in Kigali. So you can come into Rwanda, take advantage of our beautiful hotels that we have here in Rwanda. You can meet our people, you can share in our culture, you can see all the great things we have to offer you, and then you can continue. These are all part of contributions into Rwanda. So beyond just the hub, we're also ensuring that Kigali as a destination is promoted right here, by Rwanda.
Rwanda and Belgium on January 30th signed a cooperation agreement worth 131 billion Rwandan francs to be injected into priority sectors of the country's development. Sam Kalisa has more on this report.
Rwanda's Minister of Finance and Economic Planning, alongside Heidi Roberts, Director General of Development Cooperation at the Belgian Ministry of Foreign Affairs, signed on behalf of both countries. The cooperation program strategically allocates resources across key sectors, including agriculture, urbanization, health, as well as public finance management. The development is a continuation of the socio-economic impact created by the ongoing cooperation program. Beneficiaries testify that their lives have been greatly impacted under the program. You can easily get here with a bike and acquire good healthcare service because it's very near. Heidi Roberts, Director General of Development Cooperation at the Belgian Ministry of Foreign Affairs, hailed the impact that have already been made under the partnership.
As we continue and deepen this partnership, we also have, in addition to this portfolio, work that we do together on social protection and decent work, a topic that is also very important to Belgium in its international cooperation. In terms of international cooperation, of course, we have various partners, and we also support other partners here in the country as well. Enable is our agency that we're very proud of, that actually manages all our government-to-government assistance, but we also have partnerships with civil society, with multilaterals, and of course also in the framework of Team Europe.
Rwanda's Minister of Finance and Economic Planning, Dr. Uzziel Ndagijimana, reiterated that the partnership between both countries has consistently delivered tangible progress across diverse sectors of engagement.
Capacity building in health services, notably maternal and neonatal services. We have the construction of health facilities, and you have the provision of medical equipment in various hospitals. In agriculture, the cooperation focused on increasing our capacity to handle our post-harvest operations, mainly in increasing our storage capacity. In urbanization, we have focused on satellite cities of Musanze, Rwamagana, where different infrastructure activities were implemented, including roads, including markets, and youth centers.
The agreement signals another stepping stone in the already good relations between Rwanda and the Federal Republic of Belgium. Enabel, the development agency of the Belgian federal government, is in charge of implementing the different areas of bilateral cooperations in Rwanda.
The report of Transparency International published on Tuesday placed Rwanda in the first place in East Africa and fourth place in the entire African continent in countries with low corruption. This was announced while the leaders of the institutions responsible for combating corruption met to publish this report. We have more on this. This report of how citizens perceive corruption in government agencies in 180 countries around the world shows that Rwanda has risen in its position in the latest report. It is currently ranked 4th in Africa and 1st in the region, while it is ranked 49th in the world. According to the Executive Director of Transparency International Rwanda, Apollinaire Mupiganyi, this shows the efforts the country has put in suppressing this enemy of justice.
To ensure that the collaboration, the whistleblower protection, reporting corruption cases is done smoothly, and of course law enforcement immediately take action on the information shared. I think if we keep this as our benchmark will keep improving in this global ranking and scoring in corruption perception index.
In 2005, Rwanda had a score of less than 30%, and now it is above 50%, which shows how the efforts invested have yielded. Deputy Ombudsman in charge of preventing and fighting corruption, Mokama Abbas, confirms that this is the right step forward, even though there is more to be done. The report generally shows that countries with high scores have achieved this mainly due to having strong justice systems and the rule of law. Judge of the High Court and judicial spokesperson Harrison Mutabazi says that a lot has been done to improve the performance of the justice system, which reduces the opportunities for corruption, and that the measures are constantly being increased.
There are a lot of measures that are being set up, and that those that are in pipeline, we're still trying to work on to nourish them, to see that they can definitely curb corruption in the judiciary. And when corruption is curbed in the judiciary, definitely the rest will also follow suit in that aspect. So there's a lot that we're planning on, but definitely we are very happy of where we have come from, where we are, and definitely we can see a bright light at the end of the tunnel.
This report on how citizens of different countries perceive corruption in public institutions in 2023 puts Denmark in first place in the world with 90% points, followed by Finland with 87 points and New Zealand in third place with 85 points. In Africa, Seychelles has 71% points in the first place, while Cabo Verde is second with 64 points. In third place comes Botswana with 59 points, followed by Rwanda with 53 points. In the East African region, Rwanda comes first, followed by Tanzania, which is 87th in the world with 40 points. Kenya is third with 31 points. Uganda is fourth with 26%, while Burundi and the Democratic Republic of Congo both have 20% points each. As first-time participants gear up for the upcoming Rwanda Day, optimism runs high among private sector practitioners eager to forge valuable partnerships and expand their ventures. Previous attendees attest to the event's pivotal role as a launchpad for cross-border expansion, further fueling anticipation for this year's gathering. Sam Kalisa with more.
The annually celebrated diaspora event, Rwanda Day, returns on February 2nd and 3rd, 2024, after being temporarily halted due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The 11th edition, which will take place in Washington, D.C., will bring together thousands of Rwandans and friends of Rwanda to reflect on the country's development and different avenues to make their contributions. Those who will participate say the event presents great opportunities for investment expansion. It's my first time. I'm very happy that I was chosen among those attending Rwanda Day. We have to show them that Rwanda has the best tea and encourage them to consume it, but also urge fellow Rwandans to join us in tea farming. There is knowledge sharing. When you go there, you meet people with expertise in sectors like medicine and other domains like education. Ramadan Nsengiyumva is an example of results that can be born from the event. In 2010, he attended the Rwanda Day that took place in Belgium. During the event, he got a chance to present his project. When the Rwanda needs to send 100 euros, you have to add 10 more euros for charges, and the agencies in Rwanda will charge more money to withdraw. I have a project of helping people to do it themselves for small charges. President Paul Kagame then promised that his project would be put under consideration. The project of Nsengiyumva of transferring money will be reviewed and we will provide an answer. A month later, Nsengiyumva launched a money transfer agency to assist transactions between locals and those who live in the diaspora at cheaper costs. When we started the agency in 2010, other agencies used to charge 15% of the total amount sent. We divided charges by 3 and charged 4%. Our agency expanded and we've got various partners including MoneyTrans, based in Belgium, that transfers money to about 140 countries worldwide. Every year, we facilitate at least 10,000 transactions from Europe. Those who use his services hailed the move that saved them much trouble. When I don't have time to come here, I make a call and they help me to do a mobile transaction, and that takes about 15 minutes only. Sometimes, when Rwandans abroad want to send money, they face a number of difficulties, including communication. The fact that this is a Rwandan company makes it even easier. Senjumva Ramadan is currently a board member of the Aviation Travel and Logistics Holding Rwanda. He applauds the country's leadership for caring for Rwandans, even those who live abroad. Nearly 13,000 Rwandans have registered for this year's Rwanda Day, according to the data from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. Preparations are in advanced stages for the event, in which thousands of members of the Rwandan community abroad and friends of the country can engage directly with President Paul Kagame. Discussions center on the Rwandan diaspora's contributions to the country's development, a celebration of cultural values, and ways to foster relationships from people from all over the world.
The management of Africa Improved Foods, a manufacturer of nutritious foods for children and mothers, is proud of what has been achieved since its establishment. The goal is to expand to 3 other African countries in the next 5 years. Sam Kalisa continues.
Africa Improved Foods is a social enterprise producing fortified cereal-based foods for complementary infants feeding and improving the nutrition of children and adults. Ramesh Mochikal, the Chief Executive Officer of the Africa Improved Foods, noted that the firm has made a reasonable impact in improving nutrition.
Africa Improved Foods was set up 8 years ago with a view to combat malnutrition on a pan-African basis. We started with Rwanda. And I must say that the results indicate that the impact that Africa Improved Foods has had on Rwanda itself has been very successful. We've had some very, very good neutral reports about the impact we have created, and we continue to go from strength to strength in Rwanda. With that in hand, we intend to multiply our footprint and then go into other countries in the rest of Africa, because the founders' view is that we should be combating malnutrition on a pan-African basis.
The government of Rwanda's efforts to ease trade and investment was a major contributor to the success made by the firm.
I've been associated with Rwanda since 2008. We were significant coffee exporters from Rwanda. What I can easily say is that this is by far the best environment on the continent to work in, number one. Number two, you have policymakers who are listening to you. Number three, policymakers come with real good intent to help private sector succeed. A PPP partnership of this kind, with all its complications, is able to succeed because there's open-minded policymakers who are willing to listen to you.
Africa Improved Foods CEO further reiterated that the firm would seek to expand to the rest of the African countries in a bid to benefit as many Africans as possible in addressing similar challenges.
In the last 6 months, we have come up with a very credible 5-year plan, and the board has approved the plan as well. We are currently in the last stages of discussion in raising capital to fund that growth. I expect that in 5 years' time, from the one factory we have in Rwanda today, we'll have one in Ethiopia, one in Nigeria, one in Zambia, and we'll have expanded some of these capacities in Ethiopia and Rwanda by then as well. So I think we would have created quite a footprint on a pan-African basis in that time.
The $60 million factory, located in the Kigali Special Economic Zone, has created 500 jobs for Rwandans. The firm aims to increase its workforce to at least 2,000 employees in the next 5 years.
And on behalf of the news production team as well as the technical team, we would like to thank you very much for sticking with us on RTV News. My name is Martina Abera. Stay safe and have a great night.